We're going to go now to the Christchurch Central electorate. Now, the incumbent there is Nicky Wagner. She's Earthquake Regeneration Minister. This is an electorate that's seesawed between the Nats and Labour a little bit, but Nicky Wagner had a majority of 2,400 and an increasingly high profile. She's now behind Duncan Webb, who is joining us. Duncan, are you there live from Labour Party HQ in Christchurch?
Yes, I am indeed. Yep, here I am.
You are having a good night. Do you think you can take Christchurch Central off Nicky Wagner?
Well, I wouldn't have started on this long road if I hadn't thought that was possible. It's looking good so far, but it's pretty early to make any kind of statements of that kind of magnitude just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Duncan, I've dealt with you after the earthquake, and you have been a lawyer who has represented people who really found themselves up against it in Christchurch. Did that politicise you? Did that make you want to enter politics, or were you always a Labour man?
Oh, look, I've always been involved in the Labour Party, but the shift from the law into politics was very much precipitated by what I saw going on in Christchurch through those earthquakes and the people I saw being left behind. So, look, I'm really hopeful that over the course of the night, we'll find out that Christchurch has made a statement about that. But like I say, we've got a little way to go yet, so let's just wait to see.
Yes, Mickey is going to get up the figures for us. Have you got the Mickey from Christchurch Central? That was slightly passive-aggressive of me. Sorry, Mickey. He's just getting us now.
1,145 is the margin there with Duncan Webb and Nicky Wagner. 22% of the vote is counted.
Interestingly, your majority keeps growing as the evening goes on. What have been the issues? What have people been talking to you about on the campaign trail? Because this has been a big picture election about taxes, about water, about poverty, about housing. But in Christchurch, have they been talking to you about very particular post-earthquake issues?
Oh, look, there's a whole lot of issues in Christchurch that really define this election. Some of them are the things we know and that Labour Party's been talking about, like health. But they've had a special and a sharper edge in Christchurch through the earthquakes. Housing has special problems from the earthquakes. So, yeah, look, they've been both those wider issues, but really I've been having all kinds of stories. And John, you know them. I know you've talked about them. Those earthquake stories are horrific. And I think the fact that they're still here this far on has really meant that people have stood up and taken notice. And look, a lot of people so far have said enough, and let's see what happens tonight.
Dr. Duncan Webb joining us live from Christchurch, where he is currently in front by about 1,300 votes in Christchurch Central. This is a bit of a seesawing electorate, although Nicky Wagner held it last time round with a majority of 2,400. We're going to go to Nicky Wagner, who is, of course, the Earthquake Regeneration Minister, high profile in the city. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Look, you're number 22 on the list, and there are a whole lot of people ahead of you there are a whole lot of people ahead of you on the list with safe electorates. So something really bizarre would have to happen for you not to be back in Parliament. Do you think your electorate, this electorate, understands that, and they have put in a protest vote post-earthquakes with Duncan Webb, knowing that you would be back anyway?
Well, some of people have made that argument, but remember, Christchurch Central has always been a Labour seat. It's never been in contention for National until I came along.
And so what have people been talking to you about? Because a 2,400 majority, you're right, that's not a safe seat, and it historically has been a good Labour seat. But they voted for you in 2014. What's changed this time round so far? And we should say it's early in the night and nothing can be declared at this stage. But what do you think's changed?
I think the change went from Labour being 24% of the vote to being more like 40-ish% of the vote. So they had turned off Labour, they were looking at National. I've been working hard in the electorate, and then Labour turned on again and it just jumped instantly. So there's very little that a local MP can do about that. I continue to do my job, and I think I've done a good job there.
Nicky Wagner, thank you so much for joining us.